Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a great Wednesday. We're halfway through the work week, and we have a very busy weekend ahead of us. We are currently tracking Hurricane Lee in this Facebook Live right now. But before we get into that, I'm going to pull in another graphic on how hurricanes in general, how they form. So let's go through the entire process. Let me click right here and set it up for you guys. So overall, the formation of hurricanes, they do form in the tropics over in Africa, over the warm water as well. Usually it's a cluster of thunderstorms that develop over the ocean waters that are above 80 degrees. So these clusters then swirl together into a tropical wave, or as we know it, a tropical depression. Just for clarifying, as well, we're looking at a tropical depression, which is 39 miles per hour winds less, so 39 and less. Then that's usually due to organized clouds and thunderstorm circulation with winds less than 38 miles per hour. Moving forward to a tropical storm. Tropical storm are organized strong thunderstorms in circulation with winds 39 to 73 miles per hour. And then the big one, a hurricane, which are intense organized tropical thunderstorms, very strong circulation of winds 74 miles per hour or more. So this is what Hurricane Lee is right now, a Category 3 hurricane. So what we're really just dealing with is over the next couple of days, we're going to see impacts from Hurricane Lee. So let me pull up Lee right now. This is really just the headlines, what we're really focusing on here at CBS 13. We're looking at the track through the Gulf of Mexico, or Maine, I should say. I said Mexico earlier today. I'm just very not used to talking about tropical systems in the Gulf of Maine. It is very rare. So bear with me a little bit. We're looking through the Gulf of Maine, more so mid-coast and down east as well. Timing will be on Saturday. We're looking at the afternoon, evening. It'll clear out on Sunday. I think we'll start seeing some smaller impacts for Friday. More so, you'll start to feel the wind pick up a little bit, and the waves are going to get going. We're looking at ripped current risks as well for Thursday and Friday. Those waves are going to be up there more so heading into Saturday morning. So more so, we're going to see some coastal issues, big waves, rain and wind right now. We're not sure how much rain and wind we're going to get. We're still a couple of days out. And it's hard with systems like these. Like, we're supposed to see this on Saturday. It's Wednesday. This storm is still down south of Bermuda. It's looking at 420 miles southwest of Bermuda. So we are not really sure what kind of rain and wind impacts. We're looking more so tropical storm style. Bermuda is in a tropical storm warning for this hurricane, as well as currently at 110 miles per hour, gusts up to 140. It's moving northwest at 9 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the next couple of days. It'll head on down to a Category 1 hurricane, making landfall on the little tippity top of down east Maine on Saturday. It'll deliver as a low, more so a tropical depression, so post-tropical storm. Let's really zoom in on the comb. I'm not sure if this is updated with the 11 a.m. update, but we're more so seeing parts of mid-coast and down east Maine really going to see these impacts. Now, something I saw and noticed earlier today is that this hurricane, let me pull up the graphic. It's in my graphics right here. This hurricane, I was very surprised. It is a big one too. This hurricane is 800 miles wide. So if you break that down, that's the distance between Maine to Michigan. That is about 800 miles, more or less. So this is a very large hurricane. It's still a hurricane. It was Category 5 a couple of days ago, but we won't see any more. We won't see category more so hurricane force winds as it makes landfall on Saturday, more so in down east Maine and parts of Nova Scotia as well. So these are a couple of the the European model, which we use to forecast, as well as a couple of the ensemble members of potential landfalls as well. So we're more so looking, they're all very similar into the Gulf of Maine. So that's something we're also keeping an eye on. What we do know, though, is because of this more centered in cone, are the winds. So we don't know how strong the winds will be, but we just know the categories right now. We're more so looking from Rockland east to Bar Harbor, more so down East Maine, highest winds, power outage threat. I won't be surprised if power will be out for a couple days, up to even a week. These winds will push down, most likely push down power poles, power lines, as well as you guys all know, we've gotten a lot of rain, especially this summer. So the ground is already pretty saturated. So any wind or anything can easily knock over trees, power lines as well. Really, it won't be the ground. We haven't really had enough days where we haven't seen a lot of rain. So there's a lot of rain in the ground, which is not good for gusty winds as well. More so down in southern Maine, parts of New Hampshire as well. We're looking at likeliness of some strong winds, more uncertainty though. And then past that, more in the interior, we're looking at loose and Augusta, northwest. Most of New Hampshire and Vermont, low confidence on the winds. The winds will be there. It'll be a little bit gusty as well. But overall, we have to keep a mind on this. Something else that's going to be in the area as well as big waves. We'll see those waves begin to head on in as Hurricane Lee treks more north. I'm looking at my monitor right here as well. Something to keep an eye on. Let's look at these wave heights as well. If you tune in to CBS 13 tonight at 5, meteorologist Ryan Munn will be outside checking out the waves in general, what we can really look for this weekend. So let's go hour by hour for Friday. Let me bring it all the way back. So this is Friday at 2 o'clock. We're already seeing some larger waves, 5 feet at the Portland buoy, 6 feet more in central parts of Maine, Penobscot Bay as well. Now, this is where it gets interesting. This is Friday night. Now, 10 o'clock, we're starting to see some larger waves in the Gulf of Maine. We're looking at 8 feet. So let's move forward now overnight. So now let's wake up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. on Saturday. We're already seeing 8-foot waves at the buoy, 11 in the Jordan Basin, the Gulf of Maine as well. Throughout the day, these will increase. This is around 12 o'clock. So lunchtime on Saturday, we're looking at 16-foot waves in the Gulf of Maine, 10 feet in the Portland buoy, 12 in the central Maine shelf as well. This is going to be interesting. I personally have never seen waves this big, so I am very excited to see if these waves are what they're projected to be. Throughout the day, this is 2 o'clock now, looking at 15-foot waves of the Portland buoy, western Maine shelf, 21-foot waves of the Gulf of Maine. These are all the buoys that we have in the Gulf as well. We're looking at 22 feet in the Jordan Basin. So throughout the day, these are going to be some large waves, and there's also going to be rain and wind. So by the time this hurricane does hit the coast, I should say, of Maine, it's going to be more of a nor'easter vibe, where it's going to be a very strong northeastern that we would see in a nor'easter, I should say, that we see in the wintertime. So if you've worked your way, lived through these nor'easters, it's going to be very similar. Just we're going to see rain as opposed to snow, which I am happy with. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a big snow fan. I grew up in New England my whole life, so I would prefer the rain over the snow. These waves going back, we're looking at 23-foot waves in the Gulf of Maine. 6 o'clock Saturday night. These waves are going to be huge. They'll head on down overnight. This is around 2 a.m. on Sunday. Now, the larger waves are going to be more so on down East Maine. Something else to keep in mind on is that we are going to see some astronomical high tides. So high tides at around midnight, Saturday night into Sunday. So what this means is that we're going to see some coastal flooding, potential chance of some waves going over the walls over at the beach or up into the roads as well, just because these waves are going to be on the larger side, especially here for Maine, as well as just a high tide in general, something to also keep in mind on. So I actually went to the National Weather Service at Gray yesterday, talked with some of the meteorologists there. They're very highly confident that Mainers on the coast should prepare for large swells as well as a rough surf. So if you have any boats, I know that some people are already preparing by taking those boats out of the water. So something to also keep a mind on as well. So these waves are going to be big. Something to also just more so keep your eye on. Temperatures, which really surprised me, are going to be in the low 60s for Saturday in general. Then there was one more graphic I wanted to show you guys. I think this is, let me pull it up for you. But overall, I'm looking at your comments right now. I'm looking at Klein. You'll be in Portland this weekend doing emergency tree work. Yes, something to also keep a mind on as well. That trees are going to be could be dangerous falling, as well as the ground is pretty saturated. I'm also looking at your other comments. We're looking at Isaac, will Buxton lose power? You're going to meet an area. Let's pull back up the high winds. Where you're going to be in an area where there could be a chance for some strong winds. The ground's already pretty saturated. So really what we're seeing is statewide, there could be chance you could lose power anywhere in the state, as well as winds are going to be on the stronger side. Not hurricane force winds, which is great. I would not be surprised if there are some winds that could knock down some trees and some power lines as well. So let me pull up this last graphic I wanted to show you guys just on how to stay prepared moving forward. It's in my show somewhere. We've been really checking out the forecast for Hurricane Lee. This has been a very hot topic in the newsroom as well. So just something that we've been really talking about, preparing for as well. Lots of coverage. If you're just hopping on, this is our track. We're looking through the Gulf of Maine, more so mid-coast and down east Maine, especially on where we could be seeing some potential tracks as well. Timing's more so going to be Saturday afternoon into the evening. I think that we'll start seeing some things pop up, some impacts as well pop up more so Saturday morning. Our big impacts, what we're going to be seeing are big waves, coastal issues, rain, and wind as well. So just something to keep in mind. We don't get hurricanes or even tropical systems up in Maine a lot. We just get our typical nor'easters that we see in the winter time. So just something to keep an eye on this week, and definitely start preparing. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose power for a couple of days, especially if you are out on the coast. So overall, just stay prepared. Maybe I definitely think actually you should take your boats out of the water. If there's going to be some strong winds, so any loose objects, just move that indoors. We're going to see, we don't know how much rain we're going to see yet, or the wind specifically. We just know the track. Let me show it one more time, the track of what we are seeing right now. Let me pull it up. It's right at the bottom, right here. Okay, perfect. So this is our hurricane track right now. We're looking at a Category 3 storm that is transitioning into a Category 2 storm. So there will be gusts of 140 mile per hour winds. This is moving, the system in general is moving north-northwest at 9 miles per hour. Bermuda, it is 420 miles south-southwest of Bermuda. Bermuda does have a tropical storm warning. The National Hurricane Center posted earlier today that there could be a chance for some watches to be issued, especially in New England later today or tomorrow. Just what to expect. We're looking at wind totals. We'll have some totals in general. So let's track this out. We're looking more so it'll head on down to a Category 1 hurricane on Friday. Now we're looking at early morning, Saturday morning. So we're really going to start seeing these impacts on Friday night. Saturday morning is really when you're going to start seeing the landfall, we should say. It's going to be a post-tropical storm. It's going to be more so presenting impacts as a nor'easter that we'll see in the typical winter weather. Just we'll see some snow we'll see rain as opposed to snow, I should say. It's also going to be some big heights as well. Wave heights, I should say, as well. We're looking at between 10 and 20 feet on Saturday. This is a look at 11 a.m. on Saturday. We're looking at 16-foot waves in the Gulf of Maine, 10 feet in the Portland Buoy, 12 feet in central Maine, 14 up in Jonesport as well. I'm also checking out your comments. see Justin, thank you for great coverage. We're going to be continuing covering this storm well into the weekend as well. Just keep a mind towards your local meteorologist as well. Local stations. You can check out our website, WGME.com, for more information, posting daily about this storm. The National Hurricane Center posts updates every 6 hours. So an update comes in at 11 a.m. and p.m., and then 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. So the next update comes out in 2 hours. So right on CBS 13 live at 5, there will be a new update of what we can really expect for timing, rain, wind, all those impacts as well. So I will be posting more about this throughout the week. Other meteorologists will be are posting about this throughout the week, especially here on CBS 13. I have more information at CBS 13 live at 5 on how hurricanes form in general and what we can really expect from this weekend. So hope you guys stay safe, especially heading into the weekend as well. Just keep in mind the impacts that could possibly be in your area for Saturday. Thank you guys for watching.
This has been